Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Modern Operation. Sorry guys, I got a bad call. I'm trying to do the video so to get out of the way because if I stay on the bed it's gonna be I'm not gonna be able to still like it. So that's the reason. So basically today we're gonna find out why freezing eggs is bad for today we're gonna talk about why freezing eggs is bad for women because women think about freezing eggs as a job. Women think about freezing eggs is a trip and they like go to the pharmacy or something like that. But they never think about the risk and the management. They wait until the last minute to do so. And a doctor gonna explain to you why is it bad risk and then why is it regret for women. Let's find out.
The process of egg freezing has helped women stop the biological clock, no doubt about it. But a new study shows many of them wish they could turn back the clock. Almost half the women regretted their decision to freeze their eggs in this study out of the University of California, San Francisco's egg freezing clinic. They surveyed thousands of clients between 2012 and 2016. Interviews took place on average 2 years after the freezing.
So basically, the reason why women come with the concept of freezing eggs is like you become a god, and a god mean like you can it goes to can manage time because the prospect of being a god is that you manage time and an object at the same time, and then you put it on your will and then your stuff like that. So that's why they call you god. That's why God is able to manage time because he doesn't have a time frame object on the nature to perfect him to his disposal for his goodwill. So that's why freezing Ed is a slap in the face as a God Almighty, because now woman has the power for God. First, they can trap stop time by doing whatever they can do, so the eggs will be able to be there. And second, they can use the object with egg, and then they can about to do whatever they want to have a baby, which is a God position that you're in. But at the end of the day, you're not God, you're human beings. Gonna be consequences because at the end of the day, regardless how you know, there's a higher power above you because you're not in control of the eggs. God's in control of the eggs. You're not in control of the body. God's in control of the body, which is a low situation for you because you cannot be God's only one God can be. So basically, it's a loose battle. And women always want to think they are the goddess. They're not. You're a human being.
89% of the women said they thought they'd be glad they froze their eggs, even if they never used them to conceive a child. But it turned out a lot less, where 49% of the women didn't fully approve of their decision. So half, half looked back in time and said, you know what, maybe I wouldn't have done
Are you
this.
surprised by this?
I am, and honestly, the individuals who collected the surveys, according to the information we have thus far, they were surprised as well. And they said it had to do with the amount of emotional support, maybe the amount of information that they got before doing the procedure, and also it depended upon how many eggs were retrieved. So individuals who had a higher number of eggs retrieved had a higher level of satisfaction compared to those who had a lower level of eggs retrieved. And we know it's really expensive. It's like $10,000 to $12,000 per cycle. It can even be more. $800 a year for egg storage.
$10,000 to $12,000 by circle, and I think it's probably go higher now to 20,000. So there's a lot of people on demand. So the cycle is mean like per eggs. For example, you take the first eggs, you got it 9 months. We're gonna try it. It's got $10,000 per cycle. The cycle is 3 months. So basically, the first $1,000, the second for 9 months straight or six for 9 months straight, you're gonna pay 10,000 each. That's how 30K. So who's paying for that? Who has the money to pay for that? That's why they are always in there. That's why they want the 100K guy because the 100K guy has the money. If she cannot have, he already 10,000 per circle, $30,000 already go for the egg freezing. It's not even guaranteed. 7,000 other $7 go for the bag, for the Gucci, for the traveling, for the car, for the housing. That's why they will the 500K to $1 million because they want to spend it on egg freezing and they trying to think that you're not worth enough. But at the end of the day, they know they can use that money for their own advantage. It's never about you. And women find out the egg freezing gonna cost them a lot, regardless their ages. It's gonna cost them the older you go, the more expensive you are, and less likely it's gonna be the good outcome.
around that amount. So
That adds
it's
up.
not.
That's a lot of pressure too. I can't imagine. I mean, if you're a woman and you have your eggs frozen and it's $800 a year to store them,
About, yeah.
what a difficult decision too. When do you get to a point where you say, you know what, destroy these eggs? That's a tough emotional place to be, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, I can imagine so. Absolutely.
And I mean, is that part of maybe why these women not regretted it, but maybe they wish they'd had more information? Because wasn't that another part of it? Some women felt like they didn't have all the information when they went into it.
Right, but I think this is.
Women has more information. They just about they want to play God. That's all it's gonna be. They want to be in the center of everything. That's all it's about. They know that there's a point of time menopause. They can have a child since the beginning. The mother tell them, the society tell them between 18, between 15 to all the way to 35 or to 40. There's the mating process. Have a kids, get married, and set your life because between 50 you're gonna be menopause, and so you know it's not time for those kids. Women think that they can change the outcome. They're gonna fight. They're gonna fight the outcome. They're gonna prove them wrong. But at the end of the day, you're not. Women find out the hard way. They're not the one to set the standard. God Almighty set the standard, and then according to that, they become a rebel against their own God. That's what I'm telling you guys. When you go in a ship for women, you're not fighting her. You're fighting a demon inside. They fight. They are a rebel against their own God, and then now you think you can change their mind. You can change it. That's why they want the Christian men after all this is, because they want the Christian men to struggle and ask for God forgiveness, to spend the time praying, and then for her, for God to have mercy on them. But you, at the end of the day, you got less sex because now they control the relationship. Because now if you want one kid, she had that kid with you. Now she knows that if you go to have intercourse with her, most of the time, that's a Christian man, when they're not gonna use protection, most likely she can get pregnant. That's why she's gonna reduce the fact that she's gonna have sex with him, because she doesn't want to get pregnant. But before she get a relationship, she wants to pray for her to have the kids. But now when she are able to give that kids to you, now she plan to get God. This is the hardest thing ever, guys. Women knows their opportunities. I'm telling you, there are opportunities in every single thing. Women are always in business. They look out for the pro and con. If the pros in the favor, she's gonna jump and forget about the cons. She's gonna take the pros and then run through it. Because even though the cons gonna be against her, which are about the egg freezing, the pros is that I can control whenever I want the kids, and I can control how many kids I want. That's why I'm gonna put eggs amount of eggs on $800 a year, and I'm gonna use the cycle on like $10,000 in 3 eggs at the same time. And next thing you know, I can have 2 or 3 babies in one deal, and next thing I'm done. Boom. And next thing you know, I can move on with my life. This doesn't work like that. This is not a fairy tale. This is not a heaven. This is human being and human nature. And then women find out that they cannot play God. There's only one God gonna be, and then they don't want to admit that. That's the worst case scenario. Or think about they're not doing enough researches. The research in the pudding. Don't play God. Do your time to have kids, settle down, get married. They don't want that. They want to control the time and then to control the elements. You cannot do that because you're a human being. Get along with it. Get to their head, but they cannot understand that. And a woman nature right now, they won't accept the idea or even acknowledge of that, because women hate accountability.
It's eye-opening, and I think we have to have a bigger conversation around this because it is becoming more mainstream. More people are doing it. So we really need to take a look at what will make sure, or what will increase the probability that women will be happy with their decision in the future.
Well, this has always been one of my problems. The costs are prohibitive for so many women, and I do worry that this has become an industry driven a lot by the mighty dollar. Because I have to ask the question: how can it cost I understand the retrieval process, but how does it cost $800 a year to keep something in a freezer? I'm asking. I'm not blaming anyone, but I have to ask that question.
It's simple. You pay the product because it's a good outcome, for the outcome. Between that and that situation, you see it's crazy to you because you have a case, it's simple. But if in that situation you see the price is not very expensive, $800 for 1 egg, and then you get a kid, and then you able to achieve your dream, is not that much. But the thing of the matter is, it's not a successful rate. This is the cost. Why the cost is too high now? The successful is not even that high. So paying $800 for less than success rate now is a bad combination. That's why 100 is expensive. But if $100 was like 90% success rate, people say that yeah, it's easy. 100 is nothing, and then your outcome is great. That's why it's so expensive. But again, you pay pharmaceutical for something that you're desperate for. You get it for free. God give it to you for free for the time you were born to give the eggs until your time you menopause. Why you wait for the long? You're gonna talk about economy and so on and so forth. But thinking about this, women are the one asking for the right to go to work. Women are the one that fighting for God to go to school or learn. Now they try to take all that and they push away wedding to push away kids. And next thing you know, now and the stage of their life, instead of being planning to be a grandkid for their grandkids or granddaughter, now they understand that to just starting a family and the eggs is half the way done, and then now they have to take that process, which is eternally expensive, because now you gotta pay the dollar amount for something you get for free, and they are desperate because they want the kids right now. They don't have patience because they want to now to have it right now. But think about it, it take time. It take 9 months for every circle you pay $10,000, and at the end of the day, it's not a guarantee. And women now they praying God, oh God, let them be that eggs, let them be okay, so I can have that kids. I'm asking you, but at the end of the age, it's not gonna worth it, because before previous that you don't know how many times you went to the clinic to delete those babies. You don't know how many times, how many God you say no to. Now you begging God to have a kids, but at the end of the day, you guys know God is not playing your time. God's playing on the His own time, eternal.
Question. Because that's prohibitive for so many women. I love the technology. I'm so glad that women have choices and can really take control. But how does it really cost that much? I don't know. That could actually be very cheap compared to what the administrative costs are. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying that most people aren't going to be able to just fork over almost $1,000 a year to keep something in a freezer. And I'm not trying to make light of it, but until there's downward cost pressure, I can see women having regrets. That's just my thought.
I agree with you. I would love to see the technology be available for more women, and I would love for cost not to be a contributing factor when women are saying, should I do this or should I not do this? But we really do need to get more information, because the fact that about half of these women regret freezing their eggs, and these were women who did it electively. They didn't do it because
Back in the day, that's what I said. I have my freedom to do whatever I want, and then now time for me to settle down. I don't need a man, but I need a kid. This is the point. They don't need a man, they need the kids. This is why is very rebel, is very crazy, because now you're saying that you don't want a kids, you don't
of
want a man,
cancer or
but you want a
anything
kids.
like that. They just electively wanted to freeze their eggs. So the fact that they regret it a couple of years later tells us that we need to look
It highlights
deeper.
something in medicine I think we all know to be true. When you go into a decision completely transparent, you know everything, you're going to feel better about that decision. As in any decision in life, anything you're going to do, in the case of medicine, know exactly what you're getting into before you make the decision so you don't have regrets later.
Yes, don't exactly. And women know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly that the risk is very but they don't want to be that special someone to be escape the reality. They want to be that special someone. And this is the outrage, because not everyone can be special. Someone has to pay the consequences. And most likely women nowadays, they're the one paying the end of the bargain. So that's why they are crying, and they'll be like, oh, why such, because they don't want to pay the price. They want to be the always successful. They want to be always the person that's gonna be in charge. They always want to be that person, but somebody has to pay the price, which is not having a kids. And guys, as you all know, F freezing. If you're in that process, hold on there, be strong. I totally feel your pain, but at the end of the day, you had your turn, but you miss it out. I help you achieve your dream. I'm not trying to be done for, because